Like, do you understand? You're staying in somebody's house in somebody's home country, and you came here with a scheme that you set up to come to him with the BS. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things movies, TV shows, and Hollywood. So today I just want to talk about Maid of Honor. It's a really, really old rom-com, but since it's wedding season, I wanted to bring this one back because I was just watching it recently and thinking, this is quite a strange one right here. And I think it's just strange because, your maid of honor is really supposed to be somebody that is riding for you, is, really rooting for the happiness of your wedding and your marriage. And then you got this guy, Tom, who is literally preying on the downfall of Hannah's marriage, right? Okay, so if you've seen the film, it's about Tom and Hannah, best friends for 10 years. And they really have this close bond. They have a lot in common, and they really like food, so they go to different restaurants, which I think is really cool. I like to do that thing with my friends where I go to different restaurants and we be trying different stuff. But then all of a sudden, Tom, for some reason, discovers that he is interested in Hannah. So yeah, they met in college, and for all the 10 years that Hannah has known Tom, he's been in his whole phase, right? He really has a whole set of rules that stop him from settling down with one woman. Okay, so that's what he decides to do with his life, right? And then all of a sudden, 10 years into the game, when Hannah's on a work trip in Scotland, he now decides that he has feelings for her. And I was just very confused because now that was a point in the movie when I was like, I already know this about to be some BS. Because you've actually known this woman for 10 years, and now all of a sudden you develop feelings for her, and you must confess them. That's what's crazy as well, is he made it his whole thing in this movie to have to confess these feelings to the entire world and win her over. Now, to his absolute surprise, Hannah comes back from Scotland with a fiance after 6 weeks. Now, first of all, I have to be on Hannah's case because how are you gonna meet somebody and in 6 weeks you're already engaged? That's crazy. That's quite crazy in my opinion. Like, I know people be doing that all the time, but I'm just like, it could literally never be me. Literally never in this life could you catch me. 6 weeks of knowing each other, like you just met. You weren't even friends before. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So now she goes back home, and now Tom is getting all ready, like he's ready to see her. He's all excited because he's now gonna confess his feelings. And oops, she come out of the car with a fiance. Okay, so she comes with a fiance named Colin. And then for me, what really gets me about this film is that Tom, from this point on, instead of him to just charge it to the game because my dear, you wasted 10 years. You had 10 years of knowing this woman, and now you decided you're in love with her. You actually had exactly 10 years to confess your feelings, and you did nothing because you wanted to be in your whole phase. And now all of a sudden he's decided he's ready for marriage and settling down because he's in love with Hannah. The turnaround is crazy as well. The turnaround is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now instead of him to just charge it to the game, he now spends the rest of this movie trying to sabotage the wedding because he's Hannah's best friend, so he's now the maid of honor for some reason. She had other female friends, but she said, "Nah, nah, nah, you're gonna be the maid of honor." Yeah. So instead of doing the regular things that a maid of honor is supposed to do, he slips in a bit of sabotage into every part of the journey to the wedding. And the thing, and now Tom is also suffering because he's intimidated just a little bit by Colin. So Colin is tall, he's conventionally attractive, like, and he's rich. Yo, like Tom is rich as well. He got that shmoney as well. But Colin, as we find out, is operating on a different level of shmoney. We find out his family lives in a castle in Scotland. Okay? Okay. So now Tom is getting intimidated because Colin is like actually a good guy. And he's like, oh snap. And what's crazy to me is the fact that Tom now takes his sabotage all the way to Scotland. This is what's crazy for me. You get on a plane all the way from the US to Scotland to sabotage somebody's wedding. You're staying in this man's house. He was staying in the castle that this family owns. You're meeting his family. Oh, wow, you are definitely trying to bring down this whole wedding, and sabotage is crazy. Like, do you understand? You're staying in somebody's house in somebody's home country, and you came here with a scheme that you set up to come to him with the BS. And so, another thing that gets me about this whole Tom situation is he just never backs down. He just never stops and it literally accepts defeat. Because even in Scotland, when they're now about to get married, what does he do? He challenges Colin to one of the traditional fights that you do. You can challenge somebody to take their bride from them. And he ends up flopping and losing in front of everybody. I'm like, are you not embarrassed?
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed?
Because you came here thinking you were gonna best this guy and steal his girl. Because you wanna be Mr. Steal Your Girl. And then you got humiliated in front of him and his entire family in a foreign country. This is very embarrassing for you. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it's actually never that serious because I just don't understand the level of unseriousness. You had 10 years. And I'm not gonna let up off Tom for this. You had 10 years. You had 10 years. Yeah. You snooze, you lose. You actually lose. So Colin's biggest thing is that his biggest flaw, I guess, and pretty much his only flaw that we are shown in the movie, is that he doesn't share food. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, and that's a big flaw because why? Like, I get it. You know that scene where he now gives her a little piece of cake because she tried to get and I get it, she should have asked for the cake. But if you don't want to share, just say that because why would he now cut off that little piece? Nah, ew. Ew, Colin. Ew. But other than that, he's pretty much a stand-up guy. You know what I mean? And 6 weeks is crazy, but at least he wasn't waiting 10 years. You know what I'm saying? It's too soon, but it's not too far. Wasting 10 years, a decade of somebody's life when you could have confessed your feelings is crazy. How are you now just coming to the epiphany and the realization that you like somebody after 10 years? That's crazy. I I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And it's like she's already engaged now. You're trying to break it. No, 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 no. Charge it to the game. And then what really gets me is the fact that Mr. Steal Your Girl ends up winning in the end, regardless. That's what really got me. And at the end of the film, when Colin now at the wedding, because you decided to do this at this man's wedding, you come in riding on a horse like this some fairy tale, and then you now go and steal his girl at the wedding ceremony, leaving him standing there looking like an idiot at the altar. When he now went and punched you in the face, I couldn't feel bad for you. Yeah, you should. I was like, get him again and again, because that was ridiculous. Nah, guys, I couldn't imagine. Like, can you imagine you brought an entire person's family all the way to your home country to marry them, and you're left standing there looking like a fool at the altar? That's crazy. Yeah, all of this so he could now come and do some true love story. So he could come and do romance and fairy tale. Crazy, 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 crazy. Yeah. So yeah, the fact that Colin had a chip on his shoulder, I would have had that too. Because one thing you're not gonna do is come and embarrass me on my wedding day. Nah, 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 nah. So yeah, that's really just the thoughts I had because I really just had to come here and do a little rant because I was watching this film and I was like, I really don't understand. I really don't get it. Like, it really just doesn't make sense. And a lot of things in this film didn't make sense. So let's even reflect on the level of not making sense that this film did. You have a playboy who discovers 10 years into the game that he is interested in his best friend, actually not even interested, in love with her, wants to make her his wife 10 years into the thing. She goes on a work trip. By the way, instead of you to be doing business, because you went there for business, you went there for your job, and then you come back now with an engagement ring and a fiance. Quite crazy. That's not making sense. Number two, Not making sense number three is the fact that they didn't suspect Tom of this sabotage the entire time, because it was clear as day that this man came here on a plot and a scheme. Not making sense number four is the way that he went to somebody's whole country to sabotage this wedding. Yeah. So I was just really like, you know what? Yeah. I guess he got what he wanted. Colin, I'm sorry for you, but also not sorry, because why are you proposing to somebody after 6 weeks of knowing them? Also at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I was like going through the movie like I'm really not rooting for either of these love stories because none of them make sense. I'm really not going for it. So, but okay. This is I guess rom-com logic. That's supposed to be a thing. This is supposed to be romantic. And what's really having me dazed and confused is that this is being marketed as a romantic fantasy rom-com. This is supposed to be dreams come true kind of BS. Okay, cool. But anyways, yeah, I just had to come on here and give that little rant. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you disagree about this film. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hype, and share up the video. Thank you.